Welcome to Africans Playing RPGs. This is the Ki Khanga game. So, an African Playing RPGs is a platform in which Africans play RPGs. So, on Tuesdays at 7, we play. Right now, we're playing The Haunting of Truth High. We're going to lower these phones so we aren't disturbed. The Haunting of Truth High is a horror game that's played on Tuesdays. 3 Thursdays a month, we'll be playing Ki Khanga, um, which is a sword and soul role playing game, right? Everybody knows that the first role playing game was a fantasy role playing game, which shall not be named because they be suing. So, but everybody knows what that is, right? So fantasy games have become very popular. Well, years ago, the author Milton Davis and myself, we were talking about a role-playing game targeting Black people. Everybody could play, of course, but targeting the target audience was Black people who may be new to role-playing games, right? We decided we were going to do a fantasy game. However, because we write Sword and Soul, which is sword and sorcery told through a Black/African lens. But so we decided it's going to be fantasy, and I've done other games since, but we're not going to use dice. We want to do something different. So when I first created the mechanics for the game, Milton and I created the world of Ki Khanga, and so I worked on the mechanics. At first, I had a game that didn't even have a random generator, no dice, no cards, no random generator at all, and those games didn't exist back then. Now everybody's doing the solo game, and no cards, no masters, no dice, no masters. Everybody's doing those kind of games now. But it was foreign when I started doing. Some may have existed, but they weren't out there, and I didn't know of any. So I gave the manuscript to Milton. He let his son, who's a gamer, look at it, and his son was like, Dad, it got to have some kind of random generator. So me and Milton went back and forth, and it's okay. I agreed. Okay, I'm being too avant-garde with the game. So I created mechanics using the card. I said, we're still not going to use dice. Let's do cards. And it worked well. I used a blackjack mechanic because I like the game of blackjack. A lot of us, when I say us, I'm talking about Black folks, play blackjack. I figured it'd be familiar. At first, I tried to do spades. That just wasn't working. Somebody could probably do it, but they got to be smarter than me. So I wanted to do, that because it's a trick-taking game. It'd be cool. Spades wasn't working for me. And I said, blackjack. Okay. And it worked. Well, as the years went by, people wanted to do the dice, a dice version. Even somebody told you, you're going to do a dice version one day. Like, it just has to be dice. And at first we were, complying with that. Milton got into a couple of tiffs with folks, I guess, discussions about cards versus dice, and he wasn't too happy with it. Whatever the conversations were, I don't get into those kind of conversations anymore. I don't have time to be worrying about that kind of shit. So Milton got into a tiff with somebody, and so he hit me up I had written the game to use dice. It was complete. I said, I'm getting ready to send you the game. He said, man, and I'm thinking, because I'm gonna be playing with my wife and my daughter. The dice are simple to learn. I'm gonna use the dice, but die six-sided die everybody knows, the cubicle dice. He said, man, F that. Let's not use dice. Let's stick with the cards. These people talking so and so, F that. So he was, adamant. And it was in my mind anyway, like, I like the cards though. So, and I purchased a bunch of cards before he even said anything. These cards, I got my own collection, and at that point, I said, okay, well, I get to it. I sent it to you in a couple of weeks. I sent it to him. It's Ki Khanga 2.0. It's not a complete turnaround. It's 2.0. So we'll be publishing that soon. All right. But tonight, we're going to start playing 2.0. Okay. I'll be playing with two folks that have never played role-playing games in their life.
Never.
So it will show the simplicity of the game. It will, of course, show my incredible skills as a griot.
Of course.
We call game masters in our gaming in Ki Khanga griot. Okay. So I'm the griot, and I will be tonight. And for those who are watching now, I'll be watching later. You will be learning how to do the game, how to play the game. You'll be learning how to make a character tonight. Next week, the adventure begins. But tonight, we are making characters. So each person that plays Ki Khanga comes to the table, except for the griot. The griot actually doesn't need cards, and I'll tell you why. Has a deck of cards. The players draw the cards. The griot never draws cards. So say if you all are trying to hit the gorilla. The gorilla's attacking, you're trying to hit a gorilla. Mm-hmm. You would draw cards to hit the gorilla. Okay. If the gorilla's trying to hit you, in some games, the griot would, or the game master, they would throw dice or whatever and say, okay, they hit you and they did this much damage, right? Mm-hmm. This is player facing, meaning you all roll or you draw the cards, right? So in this, you're trying to hit the gorilla, you draw. If the gorilla's trying to hit you, you draw to not get hit by the gorilla, to defend yourself. Mm-hmm. Not me drawing to hit you. You're drawing to not get hit. Mm-hmm. So that's the way that goes. A quick run through of the rules. When we do start the adventure, when you draw, just remember face cards and black cards are good. Okay. Red cards are bad. It's that simple. Face cards and black cards are good. Red cards are bad. The higher you draw a black card or a face card, the better it is for you. The lower you draw a red card, the worse it is for you. You know, okay? Okay. Is that simple. If you draw face cards, it determines how well, that's a full success.
So like a king.
Yes, and king. So face is king, queen, jack.
So the ace and the joker is not included.
Ace and joker are included. So the ace is a 1. Okay. Like it is a number 1, ace. Right? But if you draw a black ace, Okay, you got it. Now, if it's a face card of any color, you're good. It can be red or black. If it's a face card.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a pip card, meaning the numbers from 10 down to ace, if that is red, that's bad.
Right.
If it's black, it's okay. It's usually like a successful cost. Okay. And we deal with yes and, yes but, well, yes and, yes but, no and, which is terrible, that's the worst. So it'd be no but. So no, you didn't get it, but this happened, right? So say you shoot an arrow at a person on a no but. You can't hit them, you missed, right? You got a no but they're pinned down now. They can't shoot at you. They stand behind a rock because you got them pinned down. Y'all got me?
Mm-hmm.
No is just no. You didn't get it, right? You missed, and they can shoot back if they get an opportunity. No and shit got bad. So no and it gets worse. So no, you missed, and you shot your comrade with your arrow, or you missed and you shot the king's wife in the arm. Well, you in trouble, right? Y'all got me?
Oh man.
So that's how that go. Stuff like that could happen. So
and
those
are the red cards.
Huh?
Red cards.
Those are red cards. So you get no but, no and. I mean, no but, no and, no and. The black cards and face cards. So red face cards, you are good.
Right, those are pluses.
So those are no and. I mean, those are yes ands.
Mm-hmm.
You got yes and, yes but. Okay. So we're about to get into making the characters. First thing you want to do is think of a concept. So I'll let you all know what the setting is. The setting is Ki Khanga. Ki Khanga is set in the 1400s. 1400s in an African type of analog. Okay. This means pre-colonial. There's no, the people aren't colonized. Magic is real in this world. It's a world where people are using swords, spears, bows. There's a hand cannon, which is a gun, but the hand cannon is terribly inaccurate and is loud as hell. That's about it. If it hits you, it'll tear you up because it shoots a big ball, big for a pistol, right? But it's inaccurate as hell. People haven't learned to make firearms that are accurate tools like we have nowadays, right? So they're very rare too. Mm-hmm. So it's mostly swords, spears, bows, crossbows, throwing knives, African weapons. Okay. The clothing. I mean, the clothing today traditionally is the clothing that they had before colonization. Mm-hmm. So you know what African garb looks like, but Central African garb usually is made from bark. So it's bark cloth. Very soft, beautiful, but it's made from tree bark. Whereas in Nigeria, in West Africa, period. So the western parts, and you all can look in the game and see the countries. It's more like West Africa of today, the way they dress. There are 16 countries on the continent of Ki Khanga. Okay. We know in modern day Africa, it's 54 countries. 16 countries, they kind of, out of those 16, they show the character of Africa almost today, but traditional Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got the country of, and your name should be based on the country that you choose to be from, but you got country of Oyo, you got the country of Zimbabwe, which is like Zimbabwe. You got Matamba, that's more like Central West Africa, Gabon, Angola, things like that. Um, you got Fez, that's more like Northwest Africa, Libya, uh, Morocco, things of that nature. And they all have certain characters. So Fez is a magocracy, which means it's ruled by magic users. Most magic comes from Fez. You got another place. So also there's a place that is like hell on earth, if there would be, it's on earth. It was formed. So originally, Ki Khanga was a place where you had your wars and things of that nature, but it's called pre-cleave. So you got pre-cleave Ki Khanga where there was no cleave. The cleave is an area that people really can't get to, and there are beings that block you from getting to it and block things from getting out of it. But sometimes they do get out. It's like hell, if you will. They know the people there who populate are called Joka Watu. Joka is a dragon, right? It's a word for dragon. So Joka Watu are the dragon people.
Mm-hmm.
So those people deal with fire. They can breathe fire, cast fire. At least it's believed, right? All kinds of rumors are about the place. People fear it. The way it was formed originally, there was no cleave. There were two races who went to war with each other: the Utuchekulu and the what are they called? I think the Ram. Yeah, the Ram. So the Ram are giants. Utuchekulu are dwarfs, and they warred with each other for centuries. They even took the war to the heavens, and that angered the god who people call different names across, but he's known commonly as Darula. Darula was angered that they would bring war to the heavens. They would dare to do that. So he decided to just destroy all humanity. Right. And so he went down to earth with his axe. This big O'Shea, what they call it, O'Shea Shango, not big double-bladed axe.
Mm-hmm.
And he was about to strike the earth, but his wife stopped him before he completely destroyed the world with a strike. It's like, please, humans, there are some good ones. She intervened and grabbed his arm. So he hit the earth, but didn't just destroy it with the strike. But when he did it, he created this cleave that goes from the top center down, and that split the world, right? And his axe broke. Well, his axe breaking, pieces flew all over Ki Khanga, all over the continent.
Mm-hmm.
And those pieces are called Kipande, right? And those pieces are powerful. You could say it's like nuclear magic. If you can possess one, they change the person who has it. But for good or bad, sometimes both. But also, when those shards of the god's axe hit the earth, now the grass and the stones and other animals and stuff begin to mutate, and now you've got creatures across Ki Khanga that people would call monsters in other cultures, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got things, vampires, throughout Africa they have, even now they talk about vampires, the Adze, most of their vampires are birds, right? And if you look up African vampires, it's talking about most of them are birds, but then, you have also what's called a Sangbo Sam, Sasabon Sam. You got all these different creatures because of what happened when the Darla struck the world with his axe. Okay. Uh, things in the cleave want to get out. Remember, there was no cleave at first, so things could travel throughout across the continent. They're trapped there because they became where the cleave was made. They became so evil that people started trapping them in, fighting them. But they're very powerful, and they've had thousands of years now to form strategies and armies and little things. So they've sent little things out. They sent a thing out called bacillus, which is a disease that affects the people mentally. So they have anxiety, and the only way that anxiety is cured is to eat flesh. So they have these. If they can't eat your flesh, they'll eat their own.
Oh wow.
Right? They have with other. They call the Guguna Kiniwa or normals. Right? There's three types of normals, but anyway, so they will fight each other. They have flesh fights with each other, and this all is to get rid of their anxiety. So you have things like that out there, and that's one of the most fearsome things that ever happened to Ki Khanga, right? Because they still exist. They were fought, but they still exist. And our daughter Okikiola is not making herself known, and she want to, of course, be on camera like always.
Of course.
So that's what the world's about. So start thinking about your character, what it would be in that world. It could be a priest, a hunter, it could be whatever, just a wife who ends up adventuring. If you end up adventuring for a reason, you say, what now?
How do we just choose whatever? We don't have to pick cars or we don't have
Well, I'm gonna go through it. How'd you do it, right?
Because of course, somebody want to be the strongest of everybody.
Well, that's not gonna happen.
That's what I said.
Pick,
how do we?
you pick who you are and you use certain descriptors to talk about what you have. Not like I'm the strongest in Ki Khanga.
Right.
Something like that. Because some people would do that.
Right, exactly.
And that would be fun though. You just unbeatable. That's not fun.
Right.
It's fun. I know some people who have done stuff to get themselves arrested in the game just because that's fun. Now, some people play too cautious, right? Years ago, we filmed the game, and the whole group was, students of mine, and yeah, all of them were students of mine. Well, plus Milton was there, so it was all adults except our day. Our day at that time, I think, was 13. Mm-hmm. Like that. Well, they were so cautious, like Lord of mercy. But when they first bought, so they made their characters. They brought their characters to me. I looked at the characters. One person, she made her stuff. She was, she never misses when she shoots her arrow. She's faster than anybody else in her country. I said, get this shit out of here, right? And so, everybody's cracking up. I said, really? Really? We have somebody like that now in the Hunting of Truth High. One of my daughters, not my oldest one. And every time I say, roll the dice. So she rolled the dice. You can't really see all the thing. She says, I got so you roll 2 6-sided dice. Like the biggest you can have is 12. 90% of all I rolled, she said, I rolled a 6 and a 5, 11.
Okay.
Almost as high as you can get. So it's like a running joke. We're like, oh boy. So I said, what's your scores for her stats? In that game, we have stats, right? And in the game, I'll read Belay's stats: strength 4, intelligence 6, Will 7, dexterity 9, constitution 8, charisma 9. Okay, let me read you my darling daughters. Strength 9, average is like 6, actually, 4 to 6. Strength 9, intelligence 9, wisdom 8, dexterity 9, charisma 9. I mean, constitution 9, charisma 12. Huh?
I was in the room. We got talking about y'all. Like, really?
Right. So like really.
You don't really see the other person rolling dice.
Right. The other day it was like, try to hit so and so. He's killing folks. So and so. She said, okay, I got it. Hopefully I make it. And I said, you need, higher than a 10. 11. And we are like, yeah. So people will do that, but for us it's funny because you ain't getting that much. But going back to red is bad, black or face card good. Joker though, if you pull that, you can have a flashback.
A flashback, like you go back in time.
You can have. So let's say you're trying to pick this lock to this door, and I said, okay, we'll draw to see if, you get it, right? You draw a joker. So you can do a flashback as long as it makes sense, right? So you can say, well, yesterday I bribed the guard. We were out drinking. I saw him and, I bought him a couple of drinks and got him drunk and convinced him while he was drunk to let us come through tonight. You can do that. You got me? That's a flashback if you get a joker. So you say, man, I've been pulling cards terribly. And you get that joker. You say, okay, well, now you got a flashback. You ain't got to pull that card. You get through because you bribed that guard. You got me? That's how a joker works.
Okay.
It changes the scene a certain way without you having to draw. Okay. So characters. Think of your concept. Okay. That's the kernel of who or what the character is and should be summed up in just a few words or a phrase. The concept might define the character's background or occupation, such as monster hunter or child prodigy, or it might give insight into their personality, such as noble knight or eccentric tinkerer. Of course, the character's concept should fit into the setting, background, or types of adventures that you will be playing. A streetwise constable is a cop, and they did have cops, during that day. A streetwise constable may be out of place in Ki Khanga, though a worldly constable might be just right. So streetwise in ancient Africa is not really like streetwise, like the hood. And that doesn't exist. But he might be worldly, or she might be worldly. That means they know a lot about what's going on, about people, stuff like that. Okay. Use the setting to inspire your character. If you want to know the approximate area in which Ki Khanga is set, it's pre-colonial Africa in the 14th to 16th century. That's about right. Okay. Throughout this chapter, we will follow now these characters. This is in the book, okay, but we will follow Yemi and Kiki. That's actually Yemi and that's Kiki. As they create their own characters. With Brandon, that's Milton's son, the griot, and they have decided to play a game set in the city of Satiba, and that it will be fairly whimsical and action-packed. Now, with this setting is not whimsical. It's going to be some funny moments, but I don't do whimsical too much. You know what whimsical is?
It's for like,
That's like, you're friends with everybody. It's real nice. What's an anime that's whimsical? Really, not too many animes are whimsical that you all will watch, but um, mine are more humor with elements of horror, warfare mixed in there, that kind of stuff. Okay, and I flow with really based on how the characters move.
Mhm.
So it's not linear. However, you all decide to move, what you all decide to do, then I ad lib off of that. So I have a created adventure,
Mhm.
but y'all may not go to this place that I would like you to go because it's dope what I created in that place. Instead, y'all go here.
A dope place.
It could be, depending on how I ad lib, So we're gonna follow Jamie, Kiki, and Brandon DeGrio to give you all examples and stuff. So in this one, not you, and I say that because I don't want this to influence how you think of your character, but in this, I said Jamie thinks of a couple of her favorite movies and decides that the concept of her character will be adventurous explorer. Kiki wants to play something a little unusual, and after discussing her ideas with Brandon and Yemi, she decides her character would be a Wandatu envoy. Okay. So envoy is an ambassador.
Mhm.
Right. Wandatu, now I told you about the cleave is like hell on earth. Well, everything has a opposite, usually equal and opposite. Wandatu is a country that it was there already before the cleave. Wandatu is a country that most people ain't been to, right? They try to get there. There's something magical, it seems, blocking them.
Sorry.
Those who have gone there usually leave there screaming, running and screaming. It's magical too, but magical for good. But if you're going there with BS or going there to scavenge or to rape and pillage or whatever it is, it doesn't usually turn out well for you. So that's Wandatu. Not much is known about it. They know, the language they speak and things like that. So if you choose Wandatu as your country, each country I got a list of names from those countries for men, women, surnames as well. So in this instance, Kiki decides she wants to be an envoy from Wandatu.
Okay. Okay, Kiki.
So that was the decisions that was made for those characters for y'all in the book when I wrote that. Okay. But the first thing you're gonna do, choose a nation and a name. Okay. So
Nation and name.
right. So nations. I'll go through the nations. Asante Man. Okay.
You gonna tell us about it?
Y'all can read about it. I'll briefly tell you. So Asante Man is like Ghana of today.
Mhm.
Okay. There's a lot to them. So for me to go through it and read it, it'll be a lot.
Right.
But you've got, so Asante Man has certain names. Ox is a country and Kiswala is a country. They have certain names. So Kiswala, they're the merchants. It's merchants all over, but they're the merchants, like the personification of merchants and making money and doing business deals and that whole country, Kiswala, right? Ox and Kiswala share similar names because they used to be the same country. But there was a split where the Kiswalans are straight capitalists, if you will. The Ox are not. And they had a split because of
Bless you.
Okay.
Bless you, Cuckoo.
You got Fez. Those are the magic users.
Yes.
Those are so they have more Islamic sounding names, although Islam is not a religion there. But so if you go to like Asante Man, common surnames would be Aj, Apia, Ose, Obusu, Yeboah.
So all the names we choose is already in the book. We just go.
Yes.
Okay. We
Yes.
can't make up our own names.
I mean, if you can, but if as long as it fits that nation.
Right, of course.
So Hyset, now these three countries, Hyset, Kemet, and Menukash. People say Menukash, right? Hyset, Kemet, and Menukash, those would be similar to ancient Egypt. Okay. So the Manuk, all Manuk have the same surname. So if you're from the country Menukash, your surname, your last name is or Menuk. They all have the same surname. Hyseti and Kamite surnames, people from Hyset or Kemet, are the first names of the maternal or paternal parent. Okay. So when you think about okay, your parent's name, your last name would be either your it would be your if you're from Kemet, it would be your father's name, first name. Yes. If it's you're from Hyset, it would be your mother's first name. That would be your last name.
Okay, that's how they do it in a lot of Spanish people do.
That's how you do in several African countries too.
Yeah, a lot of Islamic people do.
Oh, you said Islamic, yeah. Yeah, they
Islamic
well they say
and Spanish.
well Islamic they put Ibn before it. So they'll say Omar ibn Abdullah means Omar son of Abdullah.
Yeah, but like when I was doing photography at the hospitals, some of the Muslims.
Yeah, they do that now.
Muhammad,
Americanized, they take the Ibn out.
Yeah, they take that out. Yeah. They name be Muhammad.
Yeah, that'd be that too. Yeah, a friend of mine is Muhammad. He has a son, Muhammad Fadl, Muhammad Abdullah. Muhammad is he has like 7 sons, and they all
Muhammad.
right. And the reason why he's saying Muhammad Fadl. Fadl is the name. His name is Muhammad. They say the last name first.
Right.
Now we ain't doing that. We ain't going that far. It'd be confusing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's how it's done. Yes. The country Kenya. What country is that in Africa now? Kenya. Right. So they've got common surnames: Atieno, Kimani, Mwangi, Odiambo, or Nyango. If you know Kenya, Kenya is East Africa. Okay. So Kenya is in the east. Now Kemet is different. So Kemet is the closest to ancient Egypt. It comes from Menukash. So the people from Menukash were searching for this mask. Mm-hmm. And so several of them left in search of the mask. They went to West Africa searching for the mask, and they ended up going to this island where they found it. But when they did it, they decided we ain't going back to Menukash and taking it back to them because the people in Menukash are too corrupt. They get this mask, and the leader was too corrupt. And they said he gets this mask, he's gonna just destroy the world. So they refused to go back. And so in Ki Khanga, the Egyptian analog, Kemet, is in West Africa instead of East Africa. Okay, for that reason. So you got Kenya, you got Mali. Where's Mali? That Mali, right. So that's Mali, right? So they have typical Malian names: Koulibaly, Dembele, Diallo, Diarra, Doumbia, Keita, Sidibe, Toure, names like that. That's the last name. And you got men's names, Amadou, Boubacar, Mamadou, Musa, Yusuf, which are Islamic too. Mm-hmm. Aminata, Fanta, Fatuma, Bintu. Matamba is a country where all the women are the warriors. Mm-hmm. The men are, ambassadors, chefs, stuff like that. They work the marketplace. Mm-hmm. The women may come up with business ideas, but they send the man out to the marketplace to work. So in Matamba, when you're talking about military generals and stuff like this, it's all women. Okay. And Matamba is in like central West Africa. So that'd be like Angola, Gabon. That's that. Oyo, where's Oyo? Nigeria, right. Now they both been in Nigeria, so.
Why you put no spin on Oyo?
I did put a spin on Oyo. So Oyo, because Oyo, the country, Nigeria is called Oyo, and that's number one here. But so Oyo is that's the metropolitan type place. That's the big city. There are two big city type places you would go to, and that's Oyo or Satiba,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, Oyo's big claim to fame is the fighting pits.
Mm-hmm.
So they dug out, it's a big pit in the earth, and the best fighters from Ki Khanga go there to fight. And people bet on them and stuff like that. That's real popular there. And so the names, Oyo Akpan, Bello, Chukwu, Ojo, Okafor, Okeke, Udo, Ugu, Usman. You got, in common names in modern day Nigeria and in ancient Nigeria. You had the Hausa, you had the Yoruba, and you had the Igbo names. So I've done a mixture of those names in there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You got Wandatu. I told you that's the magical land. It's like the other side of the coin of the cleave. It's opposite. It's not completely good, but so that means the cleave may not be completely evil, but people don't know.
Right.
Okay. So that's Wandatu. Wandatu has names like Andriana Sholo, Pano Meza Soa, Raha Rimanana. I don't know, but those are real names.
Those are real names.
Ratsim Bazafi, Razafin Drakoto. African all over the place, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those names are actually from Madagascar.
Okay.
Which their language is called Malagasy. So those are Malagasy names. Then we have Winewa Congo. Which country is that based off of? Congo, right. So now we know the Congo now has been split. It was split by Europeans into two. The Democratic Republic of Congo, and I think it's just called the Congo. Right. Okay. So those are going to have Central African names. Sucking on mama's arm. Then you got Zambulu. That one you would never figure out what that one is.
It's not Zimbabwe?
No, that's Zimbabwe.
Oh.
Zambulu is
Zambia?
it's South Africa. So it's like South Africa, Zululand, South Africa. Okay. Zimbabwe is like Zimbabwe, and those are the countries.
Okay.
So which country would you want to be from?
Oyo.
Okay, Oyo. And what name? You want one of the names here, or you want determine whether you want to have a girl character, boy character, or man character, woman character, and what their surname's going to be, and what their first name's going to be. Since you have Yoruba names, you could use one of your names. It's up to you.
Well, is she trying to be Yoruba?
She's being from Oyo, yeah.
Oh, no.
Y'all can both be from Oyo.
She's not really from the magical places.
Oh, Wandatu or
Fez,
Fez.
probably. Okay.
So
your name Oluchi Garba.
Mhm.
Cool.
Garba? That's how you say it?
Did you? Where is it?
Yeah, that's what you said?
Yeah, Garba.
Oh, no, I don't want that.
Oh, okay.
You want to be called garbage?
I knew she was thinking that. That name is dope though. Oluchi Garba. That's dope.
I thought it was like Garba. Like, well,
Garba. That could be.
okay.
What are some of the Fez names?
Okay, Fez names, surnames, common. Ubdulu, Ukhmud, Uli, Bushur, Balu, Puhin,
Go to the bathroom.
Guzuli, Gulum, Ikbul, or Uzine. That's the last name.
Guzuli.
Okay, Guzuli. And are you going to be a man or a woman?
Man. Can you write it?
Okay, Guzuli. Man's name: Ulum, Umal, Uziz, Ismuil, Furuk, Hufiz, Husun, Iqbal, Hudim, Mahmud.
The first one.
Ulum.
Yeah.
Okay. You're from Fez, and your name is Ulum Guzul. Man, yep. Poop. All right.
Okay.
All right. So, Jamie's from Oyo, you from Fez. Cool.
All right.
All right. So when Jamie comes back, general description, but y'all could do that after getting your other stuff.
Okay.
Which would be, general description is height, weight, height, body type, skin tone,
Like 6'6".
hair color.
I can go ahead and put what I'm in.
Yeah, if you want to.
6'6".
So that's height, weight, hair color, the body build,
6'6".
because they may be 6'6",
I
200.
want to be like
It could be
muscular, about what,
okay. So
280.
that's really muscular,
Yeah.
and you put muscular because they could also be chubby. They 6'6", 280. And then skin tone, hair color, and the hairstyle, eye color, any scars, piercings, your clothing style, all of that. You from Fez, your clothing style, is going to be more on the Islamic side. And in Fez, in Fez, even though it has a similarity to Islamic countries, women aren't oppressed there. Things of that nature. Women can be the war. They have a group of warriors called the Askari, right? They can be warriors. They can be whatever. But in Fez, also in that country, when people come into Fez, they don't allow people to come in with weapons. You good?
I'll make sure my notebook was right there.
That's not
Yeah, it's right here. It's you just moving it. All right. So now I was saying you can do your general description now, or you can do it later. General description is what the character looks like. Your height, body type or build, skin tone, hair color and hairstyle, eye color, any scars, piercings, anything like that, and their clothing style. And so I give you a few minutes to do that. Then we're going to get into descriptors. That's general description. We're going to get into general description right now. We're going to get into descriptors. That's descriptors, everybody.
Everybody out there in YouTube land, all y'all folks watching us, yeah.
Well, I know some are watching, some lurk. Some people, they've started to speak on the 100 Truth High sessions, and so you all can speak up, give suggestions, things of that nature. You got everything? Are you thinking of something?
What's all do we need?
So you can get height, body type, build, skin tone, hair color, and hairstyle, eye color, any scars and or piercings if they got any, and clothing style.
You said height, hair color,
hmm
red.
Body build, skin tone, hair color,
Oh
and
yeah,
style.
mine is
eye
dark
color.
skin.
So, what kind of dark? You dark like ebony dark, or are you ebony dark, or are you chestnut dark? Are you taupe colored?
I
Taupe
want
is
to
like grayish.
Great.
I want to be dark like midnight
Like this.
So that's ebony. That's
with
ebony.
a slash on my that's the right cheek.
Okay.
And
Is your skin, medium brown, dark brown? Is it russet brown? Is it tawny? Is it the color
you
porcelain?
woman or man?
Um,
Snow.
You 6'2"?
Yep.
Okay. The guy is red color hair
Okay.
because you know what they do
Yeah, they
color
ochre
their-
color.
and,
But does he have a beard too then?
yeah, you should have a beard.
Okay. I guess there's a space right there where the scars at. So you can see the scar. The hair doesn't grow there.
You want a little bit of thin beard and just like it's more hair here.
Oh, okay, you got hair going down
you
like
get
that.
that. Like choose a description too, like the background.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Okay.
All right, so we're done with that part? Okay, so now we're done. Descriptors. Descriptors are adjectives or very short phrases that identify a character's skills and flaws, the things that make their life easier and harder, and ultimately make them who they are. They indicate the kinds of things that a character is good at, their physical and mental traits, and any abilities or drawbacks they might have. They are both guides for your role playing and modifiers to draws. Okay. Characters have 4 descriptors: body, mind, edge, and flaw. Okay. Choose an adjective or phrase to describe the most distinctive features of your character. Thinking about her adventure, so I'm giving this example. Her adventurous explorer and the kinds of things she might have gotten up to during your character's a he in this game. I mean, the book. Things he might have gotten up to during his life. Jamie decides on the following descriptors: body nimble, mind level-headed, edge uses a crop whip, which is called a latupa in or in Africa. Some people say shambo. Those are the Dutch invaders in South Africa. They say shambo, but it's a latupa. It's not like the whip, like God doggone in the West or whipping slaves, right? It's that crop whip.
Like the one that's like
Horses, not right, but it's thicker. It's made from rhinoceros pizzle. Rhinoceros pizzle is I thought we talked about that. The rhinoceros penis.
no.
Because that's hard leather.
And it's made from that.
Yes. There's a walking stick that's made from a bull's penis.
It didn't do anything.
like they just discussing something. No, that's using your material around you in a smart way. That's all. Not just I'm gonna use his penis as a walking. Yeah, just being malicious. I'm gonna kill that bull and use his penis. No. And the flaw is afraid of heights. So like that. Kiki, inspired by classic pulp fantasy stories, has decided on the following descriptors for her character, the Wandatu envoy: body fragile, mind observant, edge, read minds, flaw, unusual perspective. So, like For you, Yellow Goon,
Mhm.
the edge of your character would be use magic.
Right. Yeah, that's why I
You got
put
me?
that. Yeah. But I got carry bags of charms also. Is that okay? Right.
Well,
Or
that
the
wouldn't
magic
be
ones.
that's we're gonna get to that part. What that is, that's gear. We're gonna
Okay.
get to that in a minute.
So is magical magic using magic?
So first we'll get to let's do body descriptors.
Okay.
So first body. I give you some descriptors that you could use: agile,
Mhm.
ambidextrous, blonde,
You said blonde.
Blonde.
mm,
For their body.
You said
blonde.
like the color blonde.
Yeah, there's some Africans who are naturally blonde.
But you said their body.
Body. That this is part of your body. Yeah, blonde. Furry, handsome,
Yes.
huge, poor constitution, quick, razor sharp claws, short, strong.
Can I use? I can use all different ones, right?
No, one.
Just one.
One.
That's the one that sticks out the most.
Okay, mine's gonna be
Strong, tall, thin, bigger, weak, webbed feet.
That,
Yeah. Like
what
that.
was bigger mean?
Bigger means you got you got good health. So it's great for resisting poison, long distance running, and other feats of endurance. Okay, bigger, Bigor, bigger. So that's body. That'll be so. Now you got yours.
Mine
What's
is handsome.
okay?
You like that's one of my them choose.
Yeah, use my tongue.
Huh?
It's like him with red hair.
Like who? Are they real? Except the 6'6".
Yeah, he wish he was
6'6".
6'6", 280.
Yeah. Definitely not a day. Damn. Okay,
And
so
then with the red hair and light brown eyes.
I can see it. No, he ain't got like brown eye. All right, so I can see him dyeing his hair that reddish as he grown because he tried before. That's like no, said no. Mind descriptors. So mind descriptors: absent-minded, book smart,
I put intelligent.
builder, dim-witted, empathetic, focused, lateral thinker, mathematician, observant, orator, slow-witted, tactician, uneducated, wise, witty. So you use intelligent.
Mhm.
Okay. And those are just examples I'm giving you. You
Right.
can use something. Observe, put an R right there. OBSERVANT.
ER. What she put?
ENT.
Oh, I heard it.
Next, edge. So edge is your special ability, if you will. Okay. Let's see here. So the examples are, and it doesn't have to be magic. Acrobatics, arcane knowledge, courage. So arcane knowledge is identifying mystic artifacts and recognize the presence of magic and stuff like that. Courage, fencing, good memory, fencing using the sword, of course. Good memory, healing, hunting, keen sight, linguistics, magic, nasty bite, piloting, rich, wrestling.
Is that up on the psychic too?
If you have psychic abilities, that would be edge, yes.
Okay.
But you got magic as your edge.
Hmm?
You got magic as your edge.
Oh, is that what I got?
Mm-hmm. Now you can change
I
that,
thought
make it psychic abilities.
the magic was something else.
No,
The
no,
magic was the first thing I thought.
no. That's body. Body's the first thing. That was handsome.
Handsome, yeah.
Second
Edge.
was no.
I mean,
Second was mind. You had intelligence. Third, edge. That's it. They can be magic or it can be mental abilities that work like magic. I don't
This
know.
is edge, right?
This edge. So what was your edge?
Shit, acrobatic. Like this, like gymnast, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess
Alright.
I'll put. I think I probably would have.
Psychic ability.
No, I think I really have magic.
Okay.
I thought magic don't come here because you see from the face.
No, everybody in
Well,
fairs doesn't
yeah,
have that.
I thought since I was
The
fed,
people
it
in
was magic.
fairs use magic and everything, but everybody there is not a sorcerer or nothing like that. You got warriors there. You got like it's a country, so you got everything that you have in the country there too. They just happen to have more magical people than anybody else. Now pick a flaw. Flaw could be blind,
Oh no.
brave. So brave was a edge, but also it can be a flaw. You say, well, how? Because it's
Careless.
good for charge. Right, you
Yeah.
right. You're charging in the danger of acting foolhardy, right, and getting into trouble. Clumsy, greedy, inhuman appearance, missing leg,
Oh, no.
old, poor sight, primitive, smelly, wanted, or young.
Man, I'm gonna be smelly.
Oh, no, you listen.
No, no.
I'm gonna be poor.
Okay.
But the thing is, he's tall and handsome.
Right. It's a stank. We know somebody like that.
Oh.
All right. So,
And with the being magical, you use your exactly.
no. So
Hold
if it's a flaw, it's gonna be used against you in the game.
I know, but
So no, ain't no. I'm magical, so I just make myself smell good. Nope.
not all the time. But just like
No. So smelly, a hindrance when trying to impress people or hiding from wild animals or trackers.
Okay, what's the point?
But smelly, that's good too, though.
The poor, a hindrance when wanting to buy food or clothes or trying to get into an exclusive party. That's poor.
What about my description? I don't know.
Hmm?
On my description, I got it. I got it in my mind.
So you want poor?
Yeah, I want poor.
Okay.
What else? What was the other ones? Yeah, I don't know.
Young, wanted, smelly, primitive, poor
Okay,
sight,
what is wanted?
a pain when trying to keep out of trouble. You wanted by
Oh,
the constables, or you wanted by some guild, or
okay. What else? Okay,
poor sight, poor, old, missing leg, inhuman appearance, greedy, clumsy, brave, blind.
I want what's it?
Okay.
Do I want you to be brave or do I want you to be smelly?
Lord.
I think I'm gonna go with brave.
All right. So that person, he's foolhardy, runs into it, so good for charging the mortal danger, acting foolhardy, and getting into deep trouble.
Now, which one is this one?
Brave.
I mean, brave. I know.
That's your flaw.
Flaw.
Now,
Are you sure?
You use brave too?
she wanted. Now we're going to gear. Gear is the equipment, gadgets, and weapons that a character will use on their adventures. All characters have basic clothes and items that are appropriate to their concept, right? That's called a prop.
Mm-hmm.
Gear is the important and cool stuff that a character carries. Like descriptors, a character's gear will modify draws. Gear can be anything: hand cannons and knives to fancy clothes, a horse, not just regular clothes, but fancy clothes that impress folks or whatever, right? A horse, or even a ship. Like descriptors, your character's gear depends on character concept and the stories you want to tell. Unlike descriptors, gear is always made up of an adjective and noun. Okay? Adjective and noun, like rusting is an adjective. Sword. You got me?
Mm-hmm.
It's a sword. What kind of sword? It's a rusting sword. Long rope, fast horse, long ranged bow. Long range is the adjective. It's a bow. Baba's rhinoceros. Right. Heavy armor. Yeah. And I chose Baba's rhinoceros because rhinoceros, is my favorite animal. Baba's rhinoceros. So, So your character has 2 items of gear. 2 items of gear. Choose 2 items for your character. Remember, it's adjective and noun.
We be eating.
What was the horse? What was the horse?
It could be a fast horse. It could be a slow horse, old horse.
Oh, I thought you already had it set up.
We could be eating.
Yeah, it could be anything that fits the setting. Yeah, you can have a ship.
Okay.
You have,
Yeah, we can have 2.
yeah, 2. You can have a flying horse. You could have
That's
a,
fine.
On a bird.
a bird that you fly on, or just a bird.
Like a bird. It's on my
A
shoulder.
pet. Okay, so you got a noun. Is it like a intelligent bird, stupid bird
Yeah, like one that
Magical
hurt me.
horse.
that'll hurt you?
No, like alert.
Magical horse. That's too broad. So choose what makes it magical. You said that. Who now?
Like you seen like what's it called? What's that movie? When they had the birds, and then when there's danger around, they start making noise.
Oh, okay, cool. So you could say, what you say? You're gonna make it an alarming bird,
Like alert.
an alert bird.
Mhm.
Oh,
Okay,
that's pretty cool.
that's cool. That's
And we
that's
have to have
one.
2 of them, right?
Right.
Okay, so I want to have a horse.
So a regular horse, it can fly.
Unicorn.
I want to probably a fiery, a horse that can fly, but it can send out fire.
So you want to ride a dragon then?
Yeah, a dragon horse.
Okay, so let me see. That would be so just put fiery horse.
Okay.
So fiery is the adjective, horse. That don't mean it fly though. So let me see here. Yeah, it can breathe fire or it can fly. It's up to you.
Okay.
Do one of them.
But you can get 2 horses.
You can do that. I don't know, just walking around with 2 horses.
I want. I think I would rather have a horse that is like that can communicate with the person. So I guess a psychic horse.
Well, that would be just horses are intelligent anyway. Let me see. Then that way, horse would be the actually the adjective. So it'd be a horse familiar.
Okay.
Familiar are those, animals that people have that they could talk to and they do errands for them and stuff. So horse familiar. All right, that's one of them. So what's your second?
My second one would be
So in this one, Jamie decides her adventurous explorer, just give me an example. We have a sturdy Latupa, that whip, since she is quite skilled with it, and a worn leather tunic to keep out the cold and offer a little protection from scrapes and falls. Kiki thinks about her 1.2M boy before deciding on some official documents. Official is the adjective, document, and some exotic robes designed to impress and inspire awe.
Robes, like clothes.
Exotic robes, yeah, like
I would like to have like is it possible to do like some type of closet or something like that I can just go into and whatever the occasion is turn into
Like change your clothes.
yeah.
it wouldn't be mobile, so it'd be in a house or something. So when you're on adventures, you wouldn't be able to use that.
Yeah, it'll be something. Okay, maybe a backpack. Maybe it's in my backpack.
Okay, so you want something you can get into.
Mm-hmm. Like maybe in my backpack, it just come over my body.
Okay, I would call that a quick change backpack. So you can get into it, change into another set of clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know what I want.
So I give some example gear. Clothes, tailored trousers, slinky indigo dress, Filthy underpants, worn jacket. I don't know why you want filthy underpants, but worn jackets, huge head wrap, silk tunic. I thought you were writing on the cap. Silk tunic, beat up fila, braided wig, weapons, rusting saber, heavy axe, my father's sling, concealed dagger, experimental hand cannon, wooden short sword, reliable crossbow, rubber mallet. Transport, faithful horse, flying giant eagle, squeaky shoes, silver chariot, rickety wagon. Other stuff, huge backpack, miniature flag, heavy books, faithful hound, dented frying pan, water damaged scroll, ancient spell book, my favorite iron statuette.
I'm gonna let you go. I'm sure you can find something.
Can I get a bag too? Like a Mary Poppins bag? I just want whatever I want. I just pull out.
No. Just whatever you want, you just pull out the bag. Heck no, I knew what you did when you said Mary Poppins. Mm-hmm. Now you can have a bag that when you put stuff in it, it don't have no weight.
That'd be
It's
awesome.
in another, so you can put. So say if you put a ham in your bag, it wouldn't
That'd
weigh you
work.
down because it's just in another dimension and you can reach into it.
That's pretty cool. So you can put a house in that mug.
No, we ain't. No, that's too far. No, not a house.
Oh, look out like a necklace and see into the future.
Necklace that sees into the future. Okay. Okay. Fortune telling necklace. Fortune telling necklace. So remember now, gear is never innate. That means it can be dropped, lost, broken, and stolen. A mechanical arm is not gear. That stays on, your body. But an armored power glove is gear. They can be taken. It can be lost.
A backpack.
So your backpack can be
The
taken.
horse can be killed. No, I don't kill my horse.
Horse or his leg. Don't kill him, man. His leg can be broken. It can be stolen. Okay.
At least it can talk. So that it just yell out.
So when describing gear, make the adjective tell us something useful and or interesting about it. A long sword is okay. A broken sword is better. Like descriptors, the description of your gear should be clear. You don't want to be guessing at the purpose or main feature of an item. Okay. One adjective only. The description of your gear should have a single adjective, no less and no more. A sharp saber is okay, as is a magic saber, but a sharp magic saber, that's why I told you couldn't have it a fire-breathing flying horse. It could be a fire-breathing horse or a flying horse, but not a fire-breathing flying horse. Got me?
Quick change backpack is fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
And a horse familiar.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. So now description, what you were talking about. So we had general description, what you look like.
Mm-hmm.
This description, since you have a good idea of who your character is, now it's time to fill in all the other details, like their personality, their past, their goals, their friends, enemies, parents, stuff like that, children, any other detail you think important or interesting. Like it'll say, Jamie takes a moment to note a few things about the adventurous explorer. Ali Bongo, that's what she named him, is a mild-mannered professor of history, but in his spare time, he travels into the wilderness in search of lost artifacts and treasure. Regularly handsome, he always seems to keep his cool, no matter how much danger he is in, and he tends to get in a lot of it. So that's what she said. Kiki's description of the Wandatu envoy is, Nurina Ratsiraka is an important diplomat from Wandatu, which is ruled by the secret leader, Rabano Manana. Like all her kind, she has jet black skin, a bald head, and strong features. Nurina Ratsiraka works for the Council of the Venerable, which is attempted to overthrow secret leader Ravana, as Wandatu traditionally had no leaders. So traditionally, Wandatu doesn't have no leaders, but she wrote in secret leader Ravana, so she's creating part of the world. So as you write your what's going on, you hunted by so and so or whatever it may be, because you say you want it, right? You can affect the world based on okay, this happened in the world. All right. So y'all can do that later. We're going to drives now. So drives. Every character has a purpose, a goal.
I'm sorry. You said what was this called?
That's called description.
Okay.
So that's your personality. That's anything interesting about you. Other details that are important or interesting. Okay. These are drives now. So drive. Every character has a purpose, a goal they are striving to achieve. It may not be world changing, or it can be, but it should be important to that character. Ask the following questions of your character. What do you want? What is it that you desire? The thing that drives you to action. What is stopping you? What obstacle or adversary is stopping you from getting what you want? What will you do? What is the next step to get what you want? What are you willing to do to succeed? And those are things you should ask in life. Honestly, okay, all of us. So in this, Jamie says Ali Bongo is in search of the idol of Kalfu, an artifact he has coveted for decades. His rival, Bambala Echo, is also after the idol and always seems to be one step ahead. Ali is desperate to succeed this time and would do almost anything to get the idol, though he would never kill for it. Narina Ratsiraka, which is Okikiola's character, seeks freedom for all the people of Wandatu. Secret leader Ravana Manana rules the nation with an iron fist, and his agents are always on lookout for renegades. Narina Ratsiraka is willing to put her own life on the line to achieve her vision. So ask yourself, what do you want and what is stopping you from getting what you want? Okay. Now, relationships. This is the final thing. Choose at least, so normally it's at least one of the player characters that would take part in the story and write a short statement about the relationship with them. You all are going to write a short statement about your relationship with each other.
Oh, like so.
So you could say, it doesn't have to be family relationship.
Because I have 5 wives, 25 children. Is that what you're talking about?
No, so that's with other players.
Okay,
so what's your relationship? So is she one of your wives? And she would have to agree to that. You can say y'all could be siblings. Y'all could be y'all fought in the war together.
She like me, but I don't like her. How about that?
Nah. So some examples.
She
old drinking buddies, dated the same man or woman, fought in the war together, were trained by the same master, went to the same school. This person patronized a place that you patronize. You're poor and you want it. Maybe your mother's character hid you out one time.
I took all I will.
So, and y'all discuss it to the side. You were wealthy, then she stole your job. Y'all wouldn't be working together.
She just in love with me. In love with the character.
Okay, no.
And don't know that
how old your character supposed to be?
Oh, I ain't figured that out yet.
So that's all in your descriptions later, so you could determine your age. You got 5 wives, so then you gotta be up there in age. You gotta be older than that.
No, you can get a wife every year. Okay. Islam, they be having wives.
So you 25.
But 25 children, that's 25 years by itself.
Yeah.
I can have twins.
You say nothing.
Oh, sorry.
Well, you good, I guess.
I'll be like 30.
30 is too young to have 25 children. No, that's not.
But you don't think no 30-year-old got a lot of children?
Uh, not unless they're a
5,
celebrity.
10, 15. Huh?
Unless they're a celebrity. So you got 5 wives.
Okay, I'll be 35 then. How about that?
Okay.
I made you poor.
No, he's not important. All right. I was on the run, and you tried to opt me out, but I did you bad, so you got beat up and stuff, and then you're looking for me now. But while you're looking for me, we I don't know, on the same type of adventure, on the same path. So then we end up deciding to work together.
Okay,
Maybe we looking for the same person.
Well, let me think about this adventure.
Hey, food.
Okay, I can work that in. I can work that in. So she was gonna rat you out to somebody.
Yeah.
And whoever the people are who's looking for you.
Mhm.
And
How you gonna just go on that story?
I mean, if you agree to it, I thought you agreed to it.
No.
Well, you have to figure something y'all agree to.
What do you agree to? Okay, I can agree to that if I made you poor.
Okay, what about you tried to rat me out because of the award, with the money?
No, I'm wealthy.
But I'm not.
Right.
So I'm not gonna have no money anyways.
No, that don't matter. I'm just saying you gotta agree with me that I made you poor.
But why you trying to make me poor?
You're poor already, so it don't matter how you got there.
Cause my description, so it do matter. Cause my description.
That okay. I took your mama's money. I was with your mama. I took your mama.
Y'all wouldn't have been together because you from Fez, she from Oyo.
Yeah, we came to the US.
To the
Ain't no U.S. This is
Okay,
14 years don't exist.
Okay, we went to Ghana.
Well, Asante Mine
Asante Mine. I met you at Asante Mine. I was
met her mother.
Yeah, I met your mother.
But that's just messing
and I
up.
took all your people's money. Isn't that what happened?
It's messing up my
Yeah,
description.
you don't want to do that because that's going to lead to war between y'all. You don't want that to happen. Y'all working as a team to survive.
All right.
So you want to go on mine?
Nope.
Well, y'all got to agree on something to make it happen.
Cause I already got my description now. Well, I didn't write it down, but I got it down.
You got it in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, what should I say your description again?
My description says in my description.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much.
And you shouldn't do what she's the ops. She was trying to tell on you.
You said shouldn't do that.
No, it shouldn't be anything where you all have bad feelings towards each other.
Yeah, see? Look at you.
You was trying to steal my money.
Right. Make her poor. And I just did. So y'all have to come up with things.
I was just trying to give you a reason why you became poor. That's all. I'm trying to help you
I'm
out.
not poor. I'm wanted. Well, I am poor. But,
Right, exactly.
okay, so pretty much, so me and my parents, they both died. I don't know how they died, but they died. And I had to take care of my younger siblings. So to take care of my younger siblings, I decided to start fighting the pit to get money from that. But in one of the fights, I end up killing the wrong person. And now, like, they peoples or whoever betted on that person, now they after me.
Oh, that's good. But you fighting in the pit. You don't have no wrestling skill. That should have been your body.
I'm just naturally skilled.
No. So what's your, because it's gonna be your card draws. What's your body skill? What's your body?
Body.
Yeah, body, mind,
Bigger?
bigger. Oh, okay. So I guess you just tire them out. But
Oh, that's like moving fast, right?
no, that's moving long.
Like the
I
long
mean, you
period
got a
of time.
lot of endurance.
Oh.
You don't get tired.
But then I'm observant too, so you can't just sneak me.
But you're in the pit.
Oh yeah.
On that wall, your
Yeah,
edge.
your
What's your
change.
edge?
Gymnast.
Okay, I would say make your edge wrestling if you're gonna
Okay, my edge is magical.
Magic, yeah,
magic.
magic.
So I have been I was raised, learning how to do magic, and so many people, they search far and wide.
They wouldn't search far and wide for you because you're from Fez, and 90% of people that do magic.
Yeah, but I'm the head.
No, ma'am, no.
Because I stick out because of my.
You ain't the head, because so to know about Fez, the head of that country killed many people with magic to get where he's at.
Right, and I'm one of those people that
He killed you?
No, I'm the one that killed many people.
He killed many people thousands of years ago.
Oh.
He's still alive.
1,000 years ago, he's still alive?
And that's why people fear the hell out of him, yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe that's our opponent then.
Oh no, you couldn't. That wouldn't work.
From here.
And you from Fez. You from Fez.
Right. I'm running. I'm in Ghana.
You're not running.
Ghana.
They're running. That's not part of your what you call it, that you running.
I gotta think about this thing.
And you don't want to run from somebody like that.
Yeah, because I look too handsome and.
No, that person's too powerful.
No, so I'm just saying I would stick out anyways.
You 6'something.
Yeah, 6'6", dark skin.
Well, dark skin wouldn't stick out in Africa.
No. I got dark skin with red hair and a slash on my right side. It would stick out.
So you just think of what your story is going to be.
Yeah,
and y'all think of what relationship y'all have with each other. It's be something simple. Like I said, old drinking buddies, dated the same person, which would be weird, but fought in the war together. We're trained by the same master.
I was gonna be young.
Okay, we'll be young. So
maybe I'm training you up.
Doesn't do magic. Now you could have met where maybe you were teaching magic at some place where your character was at because you're young.
Maybe teach my little siblings or something.
One of your siblings or so. Yeah,
they teach me the instrument of magic.
Okay, that sounds better. You got to come out of the woodwork with some stuff, ain't you?
So yeah, you never want to. The person that you gotta travel with, adventure with, you don't want war with that kind of person. I've seen games where people I've had games where people playing, they get into disagreements and stuff, they care because of what happened with their character or whatever. Mm-hmm. And usually one or both of them end up getting killed.
Okay, right away.
Because I'll throw something at them. Either they're going to work together or they're going to die. And they usually die because, for me, I'm like, it's a game. I ain't getting upset over, don't get upset over no game. Have fun. So you want to also, I know some people do the players against the griot. The griot playing against that's bad role playing. Okay. I don't do this, so I don't set up things specifically to destroy y'all.
Right.
Actually, I'm an advocate for y'all. I want to see y'all succeed. That's part of the fun of it, right? But I throw things at you because that's part of the fun of it. That you got to figure your way out of.
So we know somebody else that may be interested in doing this with us.
Who?
I'm asking you. Is it okay for them to join now?
Yeah, well, they'd have to do it soon because next week we start playing, so I could walk them through making their character.
Okay.
You see, the character's simple.
Right. Exactly.
To do, and now you just got to come up with the fine thing. Change what?
Can I change the necklace?
You want a fortune necklace? What you want?
I want a weapon.
That makes sense. Okay. This one you have as a weapon.
Well, I have a backpack change.
That's clothes.
Right.
That's not weapons.
Yeah.
No, it's not weapons. Weapons are not part of your clothes.
I mean, if I have one out, let's just say
a weapon is not an accessory. So if I got a shotgun walking down the street and I tell Mud, oh yeah, it goes with my my shirt. They the police are, sir, why are you walking with a shotgun? Oh, it's an accessory with my shoes. It matches my shoes and it matches my top. Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah.
No, I was just thinking like the outfit I have on, it would have maybe like
I knew
spikes.
you were gonna do that, and I was like, as soon as you said no. So not no spikes using weapons. That ain't how it works.
Okay.
If that was the case, everybody be doing that kind of job. And nope. Those are called power gamers who do that, right? And nah.
And then my horse is a familiar, so
I can get two
Yeah,
two
but
swords.
it's not. I mean, yeah, you can have two swords.
So why would I write that?
all right, I gotta think about that. Then I got a couple
Some
things.
double, but you can use attacks with magic. Let me see.
Right. Oh, excuse me.
Sharp. You can say sharp sabers. You can say magic sabers. You could say Warple sabers. Warple means it's extremely sharp. You know, Warple sabers or Warple swords.
You said Warple or Warple?
And I was Warple, Borpal, Borpal, Warple, and so I would say, you're from Yoruba land, right?
Mhm.
So, Warple, Ida, or Ada, depending on what you want. So, Ida are the long swords.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Long swords, so yeah. So, Ida.
So you said Warple or Warple?
Vorpal, V as in Victor.
Vorpal.
Orpal, yeah.
That means it's like super sharp.
Yeah, so a Vorpal sword is normally used to decapitate people. It's used to cut people's heads off and stuff like that. Now, y'all are going, you want to use your magic is fire based? You want your magic to be fire based? Since you wanted a horse that breathed fire, but since you don't have that, your magic be fire based. You could throw fireballs. You could manipulate fire into different shapes, or you could do that with electricity. You could do it with darkness. You could do. So it's up to you.
Okay, I'm gonna think about it since I got a little time.
All right. So that is how the characters are made. Any questions?
No, I'm excited.
All right.
Excited.
So just think about, and don't just think about it, and then on the day of, write your job down, write your stuff early, so you can discuss it with me, so then I can make plans. So based on what you all's characters have, what they are, how they think, all of that, that affects how the world moves. You affect the world just like in real life, right? So I need to know that stuff as soon as possible, and then we'll move from there. Now, as far as action, like if y'all in combat or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some games will have stuff what people call hit points. I got 10 hit points, and once I'm down to 0, I'm dead. That's not how this works. Mm-hmm. You have conditions. And so and it makes sense in the game, you're trying to jump across, both of y'all trying to jump across a chasm, right? Or you're trying to jump from an elephant's back down to the ground. And because you're like, okay, we got to catch this person on this elephant back, jump down on him. Mm-hmm. You jump down. It's okay. Draw draw the cards. Neither one of you like a jumping expert or nothing. If you still have acrobatics, you could be, but you know, you draw the card because automatically you draw one card automatically,
Right.
and then you may get modifiers based on what you're good at, right? So if you had to use your magic, that's why I said pick a type of magic. You had to, you use person got on steel armor, you use electricity against them, well, you'll jack them up because, so I say, draw another card, so you draw two cards instead of one, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But you draw a card to try to jump off the elephant back, y'all going, you get a face card. That's yes and you jump off and you land on the person, right? Knock them down. As you jump, you get a red card. And the elephant's height, you jump. Say if it's a no but, no, you don't jump off successfully, so you slide down in the dirt or whatever. But while you sliding down there, you end up finding a sack of cowrie shells. Money in this world is cowrie shells. You end up finding some cowrie shells that was something like that, right? So there'll be no but, you got some money. No, you just, you jump, you don't find nothing, you just roll down. No, and you broke your leg. So you wouldn't lose no hit points or nothing like that. It made sense that you jump off the elephant back and you got a no and you broke your leg. Right. So that broken leg, now you have to walk around with that. So that is you got three types of damage that it could be. Okay, it could be limited, it could be troublesome, or limiting, troubling, and then more devastating. So if it's limited, that would be like a sprained ankle. Troubling, that's a broken knee. And then more devastating than that, it would be you broke your knee, fell down, hit your head, and then in a coma. Right. So it depends on what's going on. So it's conditions that we deal with. Conditions and details. Details is anything that happens in the world. You try to slash a sword. You try to slash a dude's sword with a guard's sword with your neck with your sword. You miss. You get a no and you hit the chandelier and knock the candle off and set the room on fire. Got me? So you either cause conditions or details. Conditions have to be healed by healer, or you got some priests who are healers. You have actual surgeons and things back in those days too. So you have to see a professional healer, somebody give you herbs and all of that.
Yeah, you just come to me.
Well, yeah.
Are we gonna do like how you did on the other show when we do how strong you are and stuff?
No, so this game doesn't have it. That's what I'm saying. It's got body, mind, edge, flaw.
Oh, okay.
So how strong you are is based on your age, your size, all of that, right? If you say I want to be immensely strong, then you would write that as strong as your body descriptor. You got me? Mm-hmm. If that's something so all those things are things that's important to you. You say, okay, I want to be blazingly fast, then that would be your body. Quick, right? If you want to be super smart, that would be my, that kind of stuff. If that matters to you, you say, well, I want to be real charismatic. That's my So it's a different way of using mine. You got me? So it all depends on what is important to you. So you got what's your body now?
My body
Yeah,
bigger.
bigger, right? So that means you got some pretty good strength because you're in great physical shape. You got me? You're physically fit. That's somebody who has vigor. They're physically fit, so you got a lot of endurance and some pretty good strength. Excuse me, let me go back. I'll be right back, y'all. What was that? Hold on, it's wrapped around my leg. So hold on, y'all. I know you can hear me. I got wrapped in the. Oh my gosh. Oh
Okay.
boy, thank you. Lord of
you.
mercy.
Okay.
All right.
Now you got to repeat all that.
So, once again, if you want to play with us, we'll take one or two people virtually with us, and if you're family or friends, close friends, then you can come to the house. And I said, Milton, if you're watching, definitely need you to get some game time. You need some game time in,
brother. Get some game time,
especially
brother.
with this new streamlined way, right? So this, if you've seen Ki Khanga the way it was played before, if you played it, this is more streamlined. It runs quicker, easy to understand, and that's what we wanted. We wanted something that's, fun, easy for you to understand, and so you saw now Yalagoon and Yemi understand the game. They've never played a role playing game at all before, and so now they understand it. Y'all understand it, right?
Yes.
I remember years ago, during the pandemic, Yemi came to me and said, "I want to learn 5E." That's a certain game, the game that I won't name. And I said, no. I said, I've created so many games myself. We'll play that. And the reason why, I said, because it's very corporate. And if you like the game, that's cool. But it's very corporate. And if you know, a few months ago, they did some really nasty things. Tried to people, and people rallied up. This is the only time I've seen a major corporation get taken down by the people. Now, I looked at that a whole nother way, right? But I've never seen that. But that's why I wanted Yami to play other things, and she still may one day play that game. But I want her to know that there's other games out here.
Right.
And you're not going to learn to play that game that quick. You're not. I've been playing that game for 40 years. Every edition that comes out, it's a learning curve you got to have.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Even for me, as experienced as I am with role-playing games, it's like, man, I have to go read twice. Now, 5E is the simplest that they've had since the first games, which is called BX, Basic Expert Edition. When you got into 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E, 4E was a mess. But those books, 1E was written so poorly. It was ingenious, but it was written so poorly. Because these people weren't writers. Oh my God, you could hardly understand what's going on. That's why no table was the same, because most of us didn't even understand what the hell we were playing until maybe 10 years later. Some people, I figured it out 6 months later. Like, oh, that was supposed to be so and so, right? That kind of confusion in the game. I mean, imagine you playing. What's a game people play nowadays?
Board game or
It could be a role play. I mean, a video game.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. But you don't understand what's going on. Your kids are going to get killed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get frustrated.
That's what I be saying. These people, they act like they don't know how to work with a team. I be
And,
saying
and
so
that,
bad.
and that's what role playing is about. That's why I said, when y'all, you're not going to go against each other. You're going to work as a team.
Right.
Has to be, right? This is stuff we got to get back to that we lost. And in fact, all those games, Call of Duty and The Last of Us and all of those games, they come directly from tabletop role-playing games. That's what they call role-playing games. It's just crazy. Now people, when you say role-playing and you type that in, it's going to be a video game.
Right.
But that shows you the influence, right? Well, we have to be able to enjoy each other as family, friends, and things of that nature, and it don't have to be electronic. Because if this electronic stuff fails, what are we gonna do?
Go back to
We're
this.
gonna go back to this anyway, right?
Uno.
Right. It's going growing up. We had
Jazz.
family fun nights, and Jamie's even asking, "We have family fun night." You know,
We used to have it on Wednesdays.
those things are important. They're important. You know, and been talking a lot about that with Belay. Those things are important. That, you know, the last episode of Warrior Class, he brought out a puzzle book. He said, you know, just do some puzzles, do something to relax, enjoy yourself. Because this world is harsh, right? And that was my idea for doing this channel. Black people, a lot of time, well, I was inspired. This brother, he called himself RPG Elite. He did one episode of his show and said, black people, why don't black people play role-playing games? And he said to find more than one black person at a role-playing table is like finding a unicorn.
Mm.
And I hit him up. I said, no, sir, I'm from Chicago, and where I was from, our whole table was black. At one point, I had to turn away people. It was 30 people trying to play at one time with me with the Marvel superhero role-playing game.
Mm.
And I can't handle that many people. So we started making teams, our own Avengers and Defenders, and then we would fight against each other.
Mm-hmm.
And people watching, it'd be 80 people at the school watching. Our school only had 300 people. So a lot of people, and it was 85% black at that time. Now it's 85% white, but that's a lot of black people. We only had one white person at our table playing with us, Thorpe Shanley. Other than that, it was all black people.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I guess I found my unicorn, right? Somebody else jumped in and said, yeah, I'm from Chicago. We had a table full of black folks. Maybe Chicago was different, right? Where there was a lot of black people playing. But when I go to other places, I was meeting folks I never played a role-playing game. Belay. I never played a role-playing game. So, introduce them to it, right? Different people, I can mobilize. I think I can mobilize. I played Dungeons and Dragons before. And maybe almost soon.
I just said he wasn't gonna say it.
Who?
I just said he wasn't gonna say it.
Who? Who?
I just said he wasn't gonna say it.
Say what?
Role-playing.
Oops. Hopefully they don't come at me. Oh, and I'm gonna end on this. That's one thing that happened recently. That corporation, they accidentally, this is their fault, accidentally sent, because they also own Magic the Gathering card game. They accidentally sent cards to this one guy's house. And they realized, they hired the Pinkertons, which is a long existing security group. They sent the Pinkertons to this person's house to threaten them to give up the cards. His wife's scared, we're going to take you to jail and this, that. So his wife's crying and all that. I'm sure they're suing him, So the company that owns Wizards of the Coast owns that game. The company that owns Wizards of the Coast is Hasbro. That's one of the biggest game, I think the biggest game producer in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to come after this person off a mistake you made. Right. And I was like, well, glad it wasn't me, because they sent them like valuable cards. I'd have been like, I don't know what you're talking about. They would not have gotten those cards back. Peter, you're going to go to jail. I'd be like, you're what my daddy called a dough shaker. You're security. You can't take me to jail. And in fact, if I have to step out this door, I'm going to whoop y'all ass, because they're security guards. They were not police, but they acting like they police to scare this person. and it worked on his wife. His wife don't know. And I'd have been like, nah, you done made my wife cry. I'd advise you to leave my door now, because now I'm feeling physically threatened by a security guard. Security guard is a civilian just like you and me. And at that point, I have to defend my home. Now they got problems. so they wouldn't have gotten it from me. I received this in the mail. It was sent to me in my name. This is mine. I've already put this up on the mantelpiece and, in frames. This is mine. And next week I'm going to the auction to sell them. This is mine. You're not getting this back. Especially since you sent people to threaten me. Oh, no. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't have your cards. Be like, baby, let's go to the witch card to sell these. It's crazy. So they have threatened people recently. So they keep doing things that are not good for them, for their image, right? And I think it comes from just they've gotten away with shit so long they don't care.
Well, it's a big corporation, so
right? Yeah, big corporation. They figure you're a little you. People don't realize how big that, because they make games, but they cutthroat like any other corporation. So, this is why we exist, to show we're not. To see us play is not like finding a unicorn. We exist and have long existed, right? And my goal is just to create a whole nother generation of folks that play. The games I've created, my children can take those to another level if they want, because of course that will go to them. Those games will go to them once I leave here. All right. And then so they can have their children learning. They can go on and on and on, but I don't just want it to be the OJ Tade family that play role-playing games, in the world. Go to OJ Tade. Come to OJ Tade's and buy the books. Buy the game, but everybody play the games. Okay.
Yes. Play the game.
And if you know me, you probably know my history of how I end up playing them anyway, where the white people at our school said we wouldn't understand them. And so I told my sisters, and they were pissed. They went and bought me, because they bought me Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, thinking it was okay. That's basic. I'm getting advanced, so he's more advanced than them. They're actually two different games, and I learned them both, right? And committed the 3 books from Advanced that game to memory. So people came to me and asked. So it was good talking with y'all, and we will see you all next week, 8:00.
All right. See you
next week. We won't
8:00.
get the microphone pulled out, and I won't be mooning y'all. All right. Have a good night.
Good night. Blessings.
Peace.
Peace. I need to go to.
I got it.